okay, now nobody's going to hire me because I need experience, and like I had briefly suggested, that's the age-old question and challenge. You also went through the same experience that many people do, that, gosh, I'm working for, this company that I don't want to be here. I feel like I'm stuck in a cubicle. And I think that's that entrepreneurial spirit. And that's the spirit that I saw in you the first time I met you. And that's where that hustle and grind comes from. What is your motivator? I mean, besides the obvious of wanting to make money, how do you motivate yourself to get out there and grind away?
Two reasons. Yeah, money is great and all. I mean, yes, but one, I don't want to disappoint my parents, but two, I think I really like it. It starts a fire inside me that I'm able to come up with events and get people involved and even get you excited and give and donate wine. I mean, that was incredible. Thank you, by the way, when I did that event for those women. Yeah. I mean, the fact that, and I really try to do my best and make sure that everyone gets what they want in the sense of the exposure or the collaboration, but it feels exciting. And that drive I did not have in the office. I don't know why. I should, right? They would love me. But for yourself, it's sometimes something different, just a different feeling. But yeah, that excitement, that drive of that creativity, oh my gosh, I just thought of something. I should have, wine, really amazing wine and women entrepreneurs and I don't know, fashion. And then maybe there should be a band. So just coming up with ideas like that, it's exciting. So it's that drive, that passion for what I'm doing, which when I got out of college, it was hard. I wasn't too sure what my passion really was. And it really did take up until, I don't know, maybe the last 5 or 10 years that I really know what I want to do and who I am and what I want for my future.
Well, and I wanted to ask you about that because when I look through your social media and I look at your business website, you have not wavered from your passion. I mean, you are somebody that loves, as you suggested, kind of the heavier side of rock and roll, and that's a huge demographic, and it appeals to a massive audience. Maybe not everybody's familiar with kind of that style of music that you like, but you have not wavered. And I'm just curious, how have you maintained the strength to stick within your own genre that you love and not be tempted by an easier road? How have you just managed to stay in your lane?
I really appreciate that a lot because it hasn't been easy in the sense of, I had 2 business partners that I worked with, maybe 5 years ago. I don't even know the dates anymore, but I had 2 business partners that were a little bit more conservative and I was really scared to go on my own. I have been on my own, but of course we all have our, other decisions we made. And I had a business partner was more conservative and he didn't really like the band music and he would always tell me to tone it down but I was kind of scared to be myself, I guess, in the sense, I was afraid to do the PR by myself. I was always having him check it. But I guess it took that no one really saw to realize I know what I wanted to go after, which was the music stuff and the fashion and the kind of fun lifestyle brands. And so I decided to go on my own, and it was a scary decision, but I think it was the best one. And I guess, being uncomfortable, not being yourself kind of pushes you to be yourself and go after your dream.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think oftentimes we lack the confidence in what we know for ourselves and the talents that we possess. And until you're kind of put against the wall, just like here we are in the COVID lockdown right now. We're all against the wall. What are our strengths, right? And what are our passions about? Yeah. And I think when tested, we will always have the opportunity to showcase. And that, to me, that's exactly what you've done. Now, I didn't know that story about your partner, but clearly you've recognized your talents and you've managed to survive on your own. It's almost kind of that. You got to save yourself, right? So you managed to do it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So he would call me, he's actually a good friend of mine. We're still friends, but he'd call me the most confident, unconfident person he knows.
Yeah, sure.
And so Yeah. And, but right now, no, I feel really good. And I've had people tell me about my clients. They're like, are you sure you want to be associated with that type of client? Because you might not be able to get other clients that are like doctors or whatever. And that's what I say. I'd love to get a doctor or a dentist, but that's not the kind of clientele I'm trying to go after. I'm going after like the fun, like lifestyle or rock star or someone who wrote a crazy book, just something different. I like that. And that's actually what I excel in and stuff I could promote a lot more. So if a doctor or whoever doesn't want to work with me, that's fine. I'm okay with that. If they did, great. But I know who my clientele is and I know what I'm good at. And I kind of like the smaller companies that I can help make big and get their name out there. This is fun, by the way.
Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So, Raquel, talking about the confidence that you had as a female, I see on your website that it's a quote, has brought her passion for building female communities and giving them a voice in an industry that is still mostly male-dominated. What I love about your story is that you had, like your partner said, you're the most confident and least confident person he knows.
Yeah.
And we find that a lot within women in business and women in general. My own wife, she's always complaining about her weight and how she looks. I'm like, Jess, you're the most beautiful woman I know. And by the way, your weight is perfect. Women tend to lack this confidence. And I love that you found your confidence. And I love that that's what you're trying to do within your business. So with that being said, do you have some advice for the women out there in terms of their own level of confidence and their abilities to do this?
So much. I don't want to sound like I'm all over the place, but I do want to start with this. So my business partner was an older gentleman, and I'm the one that always brought in the business. Like I would find it, and then we'd work on it. And everyone would think that I was his secretary because I look younger, I'm kind of bubbly. I do talk like, I don't know, I feel like I'm always really excited. Maybe I sound super young. But it was a little insulting. And so I even dyed my hair at one time, like all brown, so I could be taken seriously a little bit better. That's ridiculous. But I had to change my looks. I thought I had to change and tone it down in order to, I don't know, get business or fit in or who knows. But I like the blonde streaks in my hair, and I highlighted my hair back again. And I started running things, my way. But little things like that. I mean, that's kind of sucked, if that makes sense. So women, don't change who you are. Don't change who you are. And, but, obviously always be professional, always look professional. But changing your hair color is not going to get you that client, but it's not going to get you that job or extra step. I don't know. Like, to me, no. Go find another job. Go find a client that'll accept you for who you are and see you for your talents, not what your hair color or appearance or clothing or whatever, choices are.
Well, speaking as a man, we love you just how you are, so don't try to be something that you're not, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's happened before. And then the whole women power thing, yes. It started a few years ago when I got this client, actually the one that you donated the wines for, called Badassery Magazine. They're no longer together, but they were two women that were mothers, and I don't know, sorry, just not the norm. They didn't look like the housewife, the OC Orange County housewife, and that was what made them badass. And they instilled confidence in women that it doesn't matter what you look like, or you don't have to be perfect to be a badass kind. And so we threw a big entrepreneur party for them. And all of a sudden, all these women just wanted to work with me. And I represent a whole bunch of female bands. A lot of my clients are females. The women on my team are females. And not because they hate males, but, just giving just women a chance. And they're just smart and just ended up that way. And actually, it's a great little marketing tool, too, that it's, here for women voices and a women company. Mm-hmm. So, but basically be yourself, just believe in yourself. And my dad always, he passed away, by the way. I always seem to talk about him when I get interviewed. He passed a couple years ago. But he always, told me to believe in myself. So, if there's anything I could tell women, it's you're just believe in yourself. And it's a lot easier said than done. but this is talking from a woman with experience.
Yeah. And by the way, it sounds like your dad was a special person, and I love hearing your passion for what he's done for you and the guidance that he gave you. So I'm certain that he lives on through you. So we're sorry for your loss, but I think as a business leader and a representation of your family, you're doing an incredible job. What does the future look like for you and your business, and where are you heading with this?
Oh, the future for my business. Well, I recently did an event for Sue Wong's fashion designer icon. It was a red carpet event in January. It was an Oscar party, and it was amazing. I had like 30 different publications there. I handled the red carpet. I hired like 8 people to help me run it. It was so exciting, and I thought, okay, this is it. This is my next big thing. I'm going to do red carpets. And then coronavirus happens, and all events are shut down. Also, I started doing PR for events like festivals. Cruise Fest was one of them, and that's where it started. And then I'm actually the publicist for Rebel Rock Fest, which is happening in September. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Which has Wu-Tang, Machine Gun Kelly, Judas Priest. And I was doing the PR for that. And and then this happens. And now a lot of, money is tied up and on hold. So that's what pushed me to, once again, get creative and cliche, think outside the box. Mm-hmm. And just started putting myself out there again. And that's when maybe you saw a couple of my shows, I started interviewing and highlighting the people that I know on Instagram Live. So it was pushing me. What's been happening lately is I'm pushing myself to stay out there. Like, PR is so important, and a lot of people had stopped wanting to do some PR because shows are on hold and no one's touring. But I'm like, no, this is the best time to be out there. Like, it's in history, this has happened. Like, when everybody cuts back marketing and PR, the people that don't are the ones that are successful, because we are going to come out of this.
Man,
I've been putting myself out there.
I've been working the last, as long as we've been in quarantine, but I feel guilty. I haven't been doing enough after listening to you. I love your enthusiasm.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so just started, interviewing people, interviewing my friends, my girlfriends that actually need the help, that their business has been affected. And then it gives me a chance to put on some makeup and have people see me, because I live alone and it's so quiet. I'm going a little crazy by myself here. Mm-hmm. But I am used to working by myself. I work for myself. I work from home. I'm at my living room table. I like that I'm able to stay in pajamas all day. Not too big of a big deal. But, some days I kind of want to, put on that makeup and put myself out there. So I've been doing this, and it's been fun. And now the new clients I've picked up are health and wellness.
Awesome.
Again, female-owned business in health and wellness. One of them is called Sacred Lotus, and they do these facial steams and all these herbal herbs from the ground, mixed together to help stimulate your immune system. And then another company just hit me up for just another health company as well. And it's just like, I'm like, okay, as a female, I'm into beauty and wellness. So this could be something new and something I'm into. And just, I guess opening myself up to new avenues. And, but what the future holds is I'm just going to continue helping those companies that need that extra push, I guess the underdog, why not, right?
Yeah.
The smaller companies, the ones that need voices, the women that need voices, the women that need that cheerleader. So I'm definitely going to stay true to that and keep on moving forward. And when everything gets back to normal, I'll be back on the red carpet and back doing festivals and for representing these amazing rock and heavy metal bands that I love and grew up on.
I'm certain you'll be ahead of the curve when things go back to normal, because you're already ahead of the curve during the middle of all this crisis. And I love your enthusiasm. Shifting gears just a little bit, because I have you on the line. I've always been a big fan of all different types of music. In my new Montana home, I've been listening to a lot more country by default than ever. But what's happening in the music scene in your world? I mean, I know that you're a heavy metal fan, more on the heavier side. But what's exciting out there? What bands do you like? What are you gravitating towards? I'm sure you've been listening to a lot of music recently.
Yeah, I have. It's funny. Well, I went to Tennessee really quick. I went to Tennessee last year to National.